coffee's a little chunky this morning. Man, it's a little chilly this morning. Not terrible, but it is a little chilly. Hopefully today will be a nice smooth day to get some planting done. They're saying that we might be getting rain this afternoon, so kind of want to kick it in high gear. But do have a few things to deal with since last night ended kind of in a weird position. Couldn't figure out why when I made my coffee this morning I pulled the pot out and the auto drip thing quit. It started dripping. It's not supposed to drip, and I couldn't figure out why. Apparently I don't have it all together. I made coffee without the basket in there. I just put the filter and dumped a bunch of coffee grounds in it, so coffee's a little chunky this morning. I'm gonna try and beat Gary over to the field. He's gonna meet me over there and take a look at that wire for me and bring me a 3/4 inch wrench and that big long screwdriver, that ridiculously long screwdriver. This one you had yesterday was a little bit too short. Just barely beat him. He's pulling up right now. Alright, well, we figured out what the problem was. Luckily it wasn't anything electric. It was this junction here. This holds these two pieces together, obviously. This pin just rotted out and sheared. So he's running home looking for a pin. We don't know if we have one that size or not, but we should have something we can put in there, even if it's just a bolt or something. Here's kind of where I was talking about these boxes being a little bit too tall. They hit on those tanks, so they don't, which is why we'll see, like down there we have straps on them, because the backs of the boxes have been torn up a little bit from getting slid around, and that way on these windy Nebraska days they don't go flying off into the nether, which has happened before. See, that one wasn't even hardly on there at all. We're not terribly low on beans right now, but might as well start the morning full and in good shape. Okay. So I guess this morning's start is a prime example of why you just want to keep the planter moving as long as possible. Just don't stop, because every time you stop, it seems like there's an issue. Not only now do we have this shaft that had a pin shear in it, the battery that drives this has a Bluetooth or Wi-Fi type setup. So when you push this button and you have this valve open, the seeds come out and you can fill up each spot without carrying bags. The problem is that battery is weak, and you can pull start the motor, but that still means that doesn't work, so none of the beans will move. So he went to go charge that battery. Unfortunately, it's a deep cycle marine battery type thing, so it's got the posts, the regular battery posts, but then it has the little screw that these go on with the wing nut on top, and that's the only one we have. He said he might, if he has to, pull one out of his boat, which I really hope he doesn't have to do, because then we might forget about it and he'll try and go use his boat one day and we won't have a battery. All right, I'm gonna put this pin in. So easily. That doesn't seem right. Does that seem right to you? It doesn't seem right to me. There's nothing holding it in on the other side, and that seems sketchy to me. Let's take a look at the other side. Oh, so okay. He had that same problem with this one apparently at one point. Just wrap it up with tape. Well, that's what I'm gonna do. A little electrician's tape. Don't worry, soldier, we'll have you back in the fight in no time. That looks good. It's almost like it was done at the factory or something. Well, I guess with that done, kind of in a holding pattern here for a little bit. So maybe I'll go over and finish my chunky coffee. I guess while we're here waiting, this is the last field that I sprayed, and I don't think I showed you much of it. If you look down there, all that grass has grown in a little bit over the years, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. We sprayed it pretty heavy. I actually went over this twice to fight back some of that grass, but you can see kind of a line. You should be able to see a little bit of a line as to where the boom went. Like even down here, the grass closer to us has got a little more of a yellow to it, and the ends are a little bit burnt, a little bit brown, and the stuff beyond is taller and going to seed already. That's mostly brome grass, and it's hard to kill. The stuff that was young, like that, I got a pretty good kill on that. And honestly, I probably didn't kill it. I probably just made it really sick, and hopefully the beans will outgrow it. Chunky. Just seems like we can't get a break to get going today. Another bearing. I don't know. Some days, I swear, you get up early so you can get going, and then you waste all your time screwing around with bullshit. It's always got to be the one that's front. These are a pain because I don't know what you can see in there. The yetter on the other side over there, the bolt is back here. This yetter that I need, the bolt is in there, and it's really tight in there. And then the length of this wrench, once I get on it, then I'm hitting over here. It's always the one that's forward, it seems. It's a pain in the ass. Well, Gary bought out another yetter, and I'm gonna check all these other ones and make sure they're still spinning. There's only one that's questionable right now. You're probably wondering why we go through so many of these bearings. They spin a lot, and at one point you were able to grease these, but then they switched to a new design. So when we get new parts, it's kind of hard to explain without taking one apart here in the field. They put a grease zerk in there so you can grease it, but the problem is this section here on this cast piece that it goes into, there is not a channel. So if you pump grease in there, it goes just to the end of that stem. It doesn't go anywhere. It stops on a lot of these. Most of the newer ones don't have a place for the grease to grow. I don't know if they were just figuring that farmers were switching them out quicker than they needed grease, or it was a money-saving thing or a money-making thing. I don't know, but it's kind of a pain. And honestly, going down there and greasing all of those all the time probably wasn't happening, because it's a pain to get a grease gun in there when you have two of them on. So they probably just decided, you know what, we're just gonna go to a sealed bearing, and too bad. Some days it just seems like you're never gonna get started. Oh, it's good, everything's beeping. That's awesome. Everybody quit beeping. Check this out. Out in the middle of nowhere here, and someone's COVID mask is laying in the field. We're getting down to the end on this field. We just have a little bit of beans in each one of these boxes. I gotta even them out so we don't run out in the middle and not plant a bunch of stuff. Gary, I believe, is getting me some more seeds. This won't make it till the end, but we're really close. Definitely should probably get this field done today. The rain they were predicting doesn't look like we'll probably get anything, which is good, unless it comes as a thunderstorm later on tonight. It's one of the crappy parts about not having a center fill planter is at the end you gotta even all the boxes out because you don't know how many seeds went in each one. Just kind of check, take a look, see which ones are low, which ones are high. It's kind of tedious and a little bit of a pain, but that's what you gotta do. And then just as I said that, here comes Gary with my seeds. Here we come, seeds. Got topped off. I got about, I don't know, 4 or 5 acres left or something. And so I'm gonna go let Morgan out, come back, finish this field, and then we'll shuffle off to the next one. But as soon as I get this done, my fields are done. And then we just have Gary's stuff left to do, so thumbs up. Well, my beans are done. Now we just move out to Gary's. We just brought the tractor home here. We're filling up this fuel. All right, take it over there, open it up, get everything all set, fill it up, and then I think he's gonna go off and start planting beans. And then I think I'm gonna go home and make some spaghetti or something. I'll go down here and check on the sweet corn. Let's see what the status is on that. Not perfect stem, but it looks pretty good. The little debacle is turning into a bigger debacle. All right, here we go, on the move. Oh man. Just sat on my bubba.